RGRல NEET கிளாஸ் படிச்சீங்கன்னா கவர்மெண்ட் கோட்டா சீட் உறுதிங்க. இல்லனா நீங்க கட்டக்கூடிய ஃபீஸ் ரீஃபண்ட் பண்றோம். எப்படின்னு பாக்குறீங்களா? 20 ஸ்டூடெண்ட் தாங்க ஒரு பேட்ச்க்கு. 16 மென்டர்ஸ் வந்து 20 ஸ்டூடெண்ட்க்கு சப்போர்ட் பண்ண போறாங்க. 6 மணில இருந்து நைட்டு 10:30 வரைக்கும் இந்த கிளாஸஸ் போகும். இதுல நீங்க ஒருத்தரா இருக்க போறீங்களா? ஜாயின் RGR அகாடமி.
How can you apply differentiation concept in physics? This is the most important concept related to physics. What are the mathematical formulas need for us? First one is derivative of x power n. Derivative of x power n is n into x power n minus 1. That is the mathematical formula which is most important one. D by dx of x power n is n into x power n minus 1. The derivative of any constant term, the derivative of any constant term is equal to 0. And the derivative of e power x, the derivative of e power x is equal to e power x. Not always like that. If you take d by dx of e power 2x, how can you apply? Let us take 2 power x as x. We have already studied one formula. D by dx of e power x is e power x. Again we have to differentiate 2x again. That means you got 2 into e power 2x. Some mathematical formulas are important in motion in a straight line while solving NEET problems. Right. We will discuss some numericals related to motion in a straight line based on the concept of differentiation. Suppose the distance traveled by a body or particle is given by the relation like this. X is equal to 4t square. Then what is the velocity of the particle at t is equal to 5 seconds? How can you find the velocity of the particle? We have already well known what is velocity definition. The rate of displacement. The rate of displacement is called what? Velocity. So that you can write v is equal to dx by dt. V is equal to dx by dt. The rate of displacement is called velocity. In differential form you can write like this. V is equal to dx by dt. The distance traveled by a particle is already given in question. X is equal to what? 4t square. X is equal to 4t square. Therefore v is equal to what? Dx by dt. Substitute x value here. What happened now? This becomes what? That is equal to d by dt of 4t square. D by dt of 4t square. Here t square is variable. If variable is multiplied with constant factor, it never becomes 0. 4 can be taken outside. 4 can be taken outside, so that you can write like this. 4 into d by dt of what? T square. You can write like this. Here, everyone try to understand one important thing. While applying differentiation, d by dt of 4t square, d by dt of 4 plus t square is different. D by dt of 4t square means it contains only one term. 4 can be taken outside. So that this is 4 into d by dt of t square. So that it becomes 4 into 2t. But second one is different. D by dt of 4 plus t square is different. You can split into two terms now. D by dt of 4 plus d by dt of t square. We have to write like this. In differentiation, that is the most important thing. But here now come to the point. Variable factor is multiplied with constant so that it never becomes 0. So that it is 4 into d by dt of t square. Now apply that mathematical formula. How can you apply it? In physics, this is the most important thing. In so many areas you can apply. D by dx of x power n is what? N into x power n minus 1. N into x power n minus 1, apply that formula for this. D by dt of t square. How can you apply? That is 2 into t power 2 minus 1. That is n into x power n minus 1. Observe this formula. N into x power n minus 1, so that it what happened? In place of n, 2 is there. N into x power n minus 1. So that 2 into t power 2 minus 1. So that what happened from this? This value becomes what? 4 into 2 into t power 2 minus 1 is t. So that what happened from this? So that velocity becomes what? V is equal to 8t. See the question careful. The distance traveled by a particle is related like this. The velocity of the particle at t is equal to 5 seconds. Time value is given as what? 5. Here, at t is equal to 5 seconds, at t is equal to 5 seconds, velocity becomes what? Substitute t is equal to 5 here. What happened? Therefore, v becomes what? V is equal to 8 into 5. So it becomes what? That is equal to 40 meter per second. The SI unit of velocity is meter per second. So that finally you can write like this. The velocity of the particle is 40 meter per second. The most important thing is this mathematical formula everybody should know. That is d by dx of x power n. That is n into x power n minus 1. Right. We will discuss some more numericals. How can you apply this mathematical concept in most in a straight line? Right. See one more question. Same differentiation concept, but how can you apply it? Here, one expression is given like this. One expression is given like this. That is what? The position of a particle is given. That is x of t is given like this. At plus bt square minus ct cube. One expression is given like this. That is the distance travelled by a particle or the position of a particle given like this. Xt is equal to at plus bt square minus ct cube. Here a and b, c are constants here. In the given expression, a, b and c are constants given in question. When acceleration becomes 0, velocity becomes what? One condition is given in problem. Try to understand that condition careful. When acceleration becomes 0, velocity becomes what? Here, when acceleration becomes 0, when acceleration is equal to 0, that is the condition given. When acceleration becomes 0, velocity becomes what? We have to calculate velocity becomes how much? From distance travelled or the position of a particle, it is not possible to calculate velocity directly. If you differentiate once, you got velocity first. Again differentiate once again, second time differentiate it. Then you get acceleration from that. So that first of all write the position of a particle with respect to time is given like this. That is at plus bt square minus ct cube. At plus bt square minus ct cube. One expression is given like this. First of all differentiate with respect to time. First differentiate with respect to time, then you get velocity from this. V is equal to what? Dx by dt. Of course, x is a function of time t that is given in question. If you differentiate with respect to time, what happened from this? So that its value becomes what? D by dt of what? At plus bt square minus ct cube. Totally it contains 3 terms. Now let us split into it. What happened? Velocity from this is what? V is equal to d by dt of at, first one. Second one is what? D by dt of bt square, second one. Third one is what? That is d by dt of ct cube. You can split like this. Starting, we have already discussed differentiation concept. D by dx of 2x square, d by dx of 2 plus x square, both are different. Try to understand this point very careful. D by dx of 2x square means 2 can be taken outside, later differentiate with respect to x this term. But d by dx of 2 plus x square is different. It contains 2 terms. So that how can you write? D by dx of 2x square means 2 into d by dx of x square, 2 into 2x. So that it is 4x. 2 into d by dx of x square, n into x power n minus 1. Similarly, d by dx of 2 plus x square, it contains total 2 terms now. How can you write? That is d by dx of 2 plus d by dx of what? X square. It is different. So that this point try to understand. If one constant factor is multiplied with variable, that constant term can be taken out. That is important thing. Now come to the point. This is general differentiation concept. How can you apply now here? It can be split into total 3 terms. D by dt of at, a can be taken outside, a into d by dt of t plus, second one is what? B into d by dt of what? T squared minus, c can be taken outside, c into d by dt of what? T cube. Right. Now differentiate with respect to time. Now that formula already you know. D by dx of x power n is what? N into x power n minus 1. So that what happened? A into d by dt of t means what? D by dt of t. See here. What is d by dt of t value? How can you apply that differential formula? See this one. 1 into t power 1 minus 1. N into x power n minus 1 type. So that 1 into t power 1 minus 1. So that this is 1 into t power 0. So that its value becomes what? 1. This is important value. So that a into d by dt of t is 1 plus b into d by dt of t square is what? It becomes what? 2t, because n into x power n minus 1. So that it becomes what? 2t. See the last one. Apply same formula, no change. That is c into, here n value is 3. So that what happened? 3 into t power 3 minus 1. So that it becomes what? 3t square. This is velocity value. Now, everyone observe this condition carefully. When acceleration becomes 0, velocity becomes what? This is velocity only. If you differentiate once again, then you get acceleration. But what is acceleration? According to the definition, you can say like this. Acceleration is equal to what? Rate of change of velocity, that is equal to dv by dt. In differential form you can write like that, dv by dt. But velocity expression is this one. Velocity expression substitute here. What happened? Therefore acceleration becomes what? That is equal to d by dt of v. V value is what? That is a plus 2bt minus 3c t square. You can write like this. Now read the question careful. This is the position of a particle at plus bt square minus ct cube. A, B, C are constants. Here A, B, C are constant. If you take the first term, only A is there. You can split into three terms here. That is d by dt of A plus d by dt of what? 2bt minus d by dt of 3c t square. You can split into three parts like that. The derivative of any constant term is 0. So that first value becomes what? 0 plus 2b can be taken outside. Derivative of t becomes what? 1. See here. How derivative of t becomes what? Already discussed. 1 into t power 1 minus 1. So that it becomes 1. Last term c, 3c can be taken out. If any constant term is there, see this one, general mathematics. If any constant term is there, multiplied with variable, constant term can be taken out. So that what happened? Minus 3c into derivative of t square becomes what? 2t. So that this value becomes what? That is 2b minus 6ct. That is acceleration. Now come to the point. What is the condition given in question? Acceleration equals to 0. We have already found the acceleration. Now let us equate this value to 0. 2b minus 6ct is equal to 0. From this you got like this. That implies 2b is equal to 6ct. 2 in 6 3 times get cancelled. Therefore t value becomes what? T is equal to b by 3c. You get a time value is like this. T is equal to b by 3c. Now see this one. When acceleration is 0, velocity becomes what? That condition is most important one. When acceleration is 0, you got a time value is like this. When acceleration is 0, velocity becomes what? We have already found the velocity like this. What is the velocity? V is equal to what? V is equal to what? A plus 2bt minus 3c into t square. Substitute the value of t here. See this one. Substitute that t value here. What happened from this? That is a plus 2b into t. T is equal to what? B by 3c minus 3c into t square. T square means what? T is equal to b by 3c. T square. That means what? That is b square by 9c square. You can write like this. Here which term get cancelled? 1c get cancelled and 3 in 9 3 times get cancelled. What happened this value? That is equal to a plus 2b square by 3c minus b square by 3c. Here 3c is the LCM. 2b square minus b square is what? B square. Therefore you got like this. That is a plus b square by 3c. That is the final answer. See this one. Only one important thing, we have to understand the condition in question. when acceleration becomes 0, velocity becomes what? So that we have to differentiate it 2 times. If we differentiate 2 times, then you get acceleration. Later equate acceleration to 0. From that you get the value of time as b by 3c. That time value we have to substitute in where? Velocity. Because when acceleration is 0, velocity becomes what? Right. Now, see one more application. Same differentiation concept. How can you apply? Here, two bodies P and Q start from the same point at the same time and move in a straight line. And their state is represented like this. Xp is equal to alpha t plus beta t square and xq2 is equal to ft minus t square. At what time both the bodies have same velocity? At what time both the bodies have same velocity? Try to understand this condition in problem. The two bodies have same velocity. Suppose if you know the state of a particle or the position of a particle, you get the velocity from that. In last question you discussed. Suppose if you take xpt is equal to alpha t plus beta into t square. That is the position of a particle x. Xpt is given like this. And xq2 is equal to what? xq2 is equal to, that is ft minus t square. Ft minus t square is given. At what time both the bodies have same velocity? What is the condition given? Velocity of P and velocity of Q are equal. This is the condition given in question. The velocity of the particle P, velocity of the particle Q are equal. That is the condition given in problem. When the velocity of the particles are equal, then what factor you should find? Time is what? If you know the position of a particle or the displacement, you get the velocity from that. How do you get velocity from this? How do you get velocity from this? Velocity of the particle P is what? According to the definition, velocity is what? With respect to differential term. How can you define? That the velocity is what? That is the rate of displacement. The rate of displacement is called velocity. That is the velocity of the particle P. V is equal to d by dt of xp. So that it becomes what? D by dt of xp value substitute here. That is alpha t plus beta into t square. You can write like this. Here also you can split into two terms now. How can you split into two terms? Its value becomes what? D by dt of alpha t plus d by dt of what? Beta into t square. You can split like this. D by dt of alpha t plus d by dt of beta t square. You can take alpha outside, alpha into d by dt of t plus beta into what? D by dt of t square. You can write like this. Now apply differential formula. D by dx of x power n is what? N into x power n minus 1. Here t power 1 is there. So that what happened? We have already discussed d by dt of t power 1. Derivative of x power n is what? N into x power n minus 1. So that 1 into t power 1 minus 1. That is 1 into t power 0. Its value becomes what? 1. That is equal to alpha into d by dt of t is 1 plus beta into d by dt of t square becomes what? 2t. 2 into t power 2 minus 1, so that it is 2t. Therefore, velocity of the particle p is like this. That is, velocity of the particle p is alpha plus 2 beta t. Let us take that is 1. See one more. Velocity of the particle equals to velocity of the particle q. Now let us find velocity of the particle q is what? That is equal to dx by dt of q. How can you write? That is equal to d by dt of xq value is given as what? Xq is equal to ft minus t square. Now substitute here. That is d by dt of ft minus t square. Now differentiate with respect to time. If you differentiate with respect to time, f can be taken outside just like previous. Here also you can split into two parts now. D by dt of ft minus d by dt of t square. F can be taken outside. D by dt of t is 1. And d by dt of t square becomes what? 2t. Therefore, velocity of q is like this. That is equal to f minus 2t. You get the velocity of the particle q is like this, f minus 2t. Now, one condition is given in question. Velocity of the particle p and velocity of the particle q are equal. Now apply this condition. The velocity of the particle p is what? That is alpha plus 2 beta t is equal to velocity of the particle q is what? That is f minus 2t. We have to calculate the time. Time becomes what? So that let us take time factors on one side. Let us take the time factors on one side. Minus 2t can be taken to left hand side. It becomes plus. Therefore, 2 beta t plus 2t. Alpha can be taken to right side. So that it becomes what? F minus alpha. Later 2t is taken as common. 2t into beta plus 1 is equal to what? F minus alpha. Therefore, t value becomes what? Finally, t becomes what? That is f minus alpha by 2 into beta plus 1. This is the final answer, right? F minus alpha by 2 into beta plus 1. Here the most important thing is differential concept application, that is d by dx of x power n into x power n minus 1, and we have to understand the condition carefully. The velocity of the two particles are equal. When velocities are equal, time becomes what? See, one more. Sometimes, one more general formula. The acceleration is what? The rate of change of velocity. The rate of change of velocity is called what? Acceleration. A is equal to dv by dt. You can write like this. But here, differentiation with respect to time is not given directly always. But A is equal to dv by dt. Suppose velocity is not a function of time t. Here velocity is a function of x. Try to understand this expression carefully. V of x is equal to beta into x power minus 2n. But according to the definition, A is equal to dv by dt, the rate of change of velocity. But here you can adjust this expression like this. How can you adjust? dv by dt can be adjusted like this. That is dv by dx into dx by dt. That is the proper adjustment we have to make. because velocity is not a function of time t. Here velocity is a function of x given. Try to understand that expression careful. It is a function of x given. But according to the definition, what is acceleration? But what is acceleration? According to the definition, what is acceleration? A is equal to what? dv by dt. So that you can write like, acceleration can be written like this. dv by dt can be adjusted like this. Dx get cancelled. So that you got dv by dt or not? Now, but dx by dt is nothing but what? Velocity v into what? dv by dx. This is one more important concept in motion in a straight line. Always not given directly. Acceleration is the rate of change of velocity with respect to time is not given directly. With respect to x is given. Velocity is a function of x. But acceleration definition is like this. dv by dt, so that you can adjust like this. dv by dx into dx by dt. Dx get cancelled, same thing you got it. dv by dt only, but we have to make the adjustment like this. Therefore, acceleration becomes what? v into dv by dx. Right. Now, suppose the velocity is given like this. Velocity is given like this. Beta into x power minus 2n. What is acceleration from this? What is acceleration definition? dv by dt. The rate of change of velocity. Further, you can adjust like this. That is dv by dx into dx by dt. Dx get cancelled, you got same thing. But dx by dt is nothing but what? Velocity. So that you can write v into dv by dx. Now acceleration is a function of distance, you got it now. So that what happened further, its value becomes what? v into d by dx of beta into x power minus 2n. Beta into x power minus 2n. Of course, here beta and n are constants. Let us take like this. Here beta and n are constants. Let us take like this. Now apply differential formula now. Beta can be taken outside. Therefore, acceleration is equal to. Therefore, acceleration becomes what? v into beta can be taken out. Now apply differential formula now. d by dx of x power n is what? That is n into x power n minus 1. n into x power n minus 1 minus 2n into x power minus 2n minus 1. You got like this. But Vx value already known. Substitute that Vx value here. Vx is equal to what? That is beta into x power minus 2n into beta into minus 2n into x power minus 2n minus 1. What happened finally? This value becomes what? Minus 2n beta into x power what? Minus 2n minus 1 minus 2n. Finally, what happened? This value becomes what? Minus 2n beta into x power minus 4n minus 1. Right. One more mathematical formula, differentiation. How can you apply it? It is not a direct method, indirect method. Basic definition of acceleration is like this, dv by dt. But velocity is a function of x given. Try to understand this point careful. In that case, how can you write? dv by dt can be adjusted like this. That is dv by dx into dx by dt. But dx by dt is nothing but velocity. Therefore, acceleration becomes what? V into dv by dx. Now come to the point. According to the given question, velocity Vx is equal to what? Beta into x power minus 2n is given. A is equal to dv by dt. You can adjust like this. dv by dx into dx by dt. So that you get velocity is the rate of change of displacement. So that you can write v into dv by dx. That is equal to v into d by dx of v. Substitute v value here. Beta into x power minus 2n. What is derivative of x power n? N into x power n minus 1. So that it is minus 2n into x power minus 2n minus 1. Later, already v value you know, that v value substitute here. That is beta into x power minus 2n. So that finally you got like this.